I'm going to be making my bracket for March Madness, so let's do it. Auburn or Alabama State? We're going to go Auburn here. Louisville or Creighton? I don't know why Louisville is the 8th seed, because Clemson's the 5th seed, but Louisville finished above Clemson in the ACC. Anyway, we're taking Louisville. Michigan or UC San Diego? Hate Michigan, so we're going to take UC San Diego. We're going to go for the upset. Texas A&M or Yale? Texas A&M is going to win. I hate smart people. Ole Miss or North Carolina? You know, that's a good game right there. I could see either team winning, but North Carolina, I don't know. If they play like they played last night against the Aztecs, then I could see them doing pretty well this tournament. I'm going to predict North Carolina to advance. Iowa State or Lipscomb? I'm going to say Iowa State goes. Marquette or New Mexico? I'm going to say New Mexico pull off the upset. Michigan State or Bryant? Michigan State should have no troubles winning that. Auburn or Louisville? Unfortunately, Louisville have to play one of the best teams in the country quite early on, and they're going to lose. Texas A&M is going to beat UC San Diego. North Carolina versus Iowa State. Now, one thing I do know is that Iowa State have one of their best players injured. I don't know his name, but I'm going to go North Carolina. I don't know. I know Iowa State are pretty good, but I'm going to go North Carolina to win. And then we're going to go Michigan State to beat New Mexico. Auburn and Texas A&M. That could be a pretty good game. I know Texas A&M actually beat Auburn not too long ago, but I think Auburn could win. You know, this tournament is so tough to call because it's one game and anyone could beat anyone in one game. So you never know. North Carolina or Michigan State. It would be really cool to see North Carolina as the 11th seed, you know, make it Final Four, but I think this is the end of the road for them. Michigan State are good, so I'm going to have them playing Auburn, and I'm going to take Michigan State to go to the Final Four. Okay, in the West, we have Florida, who I think is the best team in the country right now, and they're going to blow out Norfolk State. UConn and Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma, my brother's favorite team, but I don't see UConn losing to Oklahoma. Memphis or Colorado State? Okay, a 12 seed always beats a 5 seed. And I think I'm going to go Colorado State here. Maryland is going to beat Grand Canyon. I'm going to take Drake to upset Missouri. A team from Des Moines, Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. Texas Tech should have no problem beating UNC Wilmington. We're going to go Kansas over Arkansas and St. John's over Omaha. Florida and UConn. I'm going to take Florida. Might be a narrow win by maybe 7-point win by Florida. But I have Florida taking on. Do I want the Terrapins to play Florida? Or do I want Colorado State? You know, I'm going to predict the 12 seed Colorado State to move on. We're going to see some upsets, and I think that Colorado State is going to have a decent run in the tournament. Drake might be another team that has a good run in the tournament, but I think Texas Tech will win this game. Kansas or St. John's? St. John's is good, so. And I think they're better than Kansas this year, so we're having St. John's move on to the next round. Florida or Colorado State? Okay, well, Florida, they're gonna beat Colorado State, break their hearts, but I think that Colorado State will still have a good run in this tournament. Texas Tech or St. John's? We're going St. John's to play Florida. As I said, I think Florida is the best team in the country right now. And I think that they will make it to the Final Four against Michigan State. Okay, other side of the bracket. We are in the East. Duke will play... both of these teams are playing right now, actually. But Duke is going to win, regardless, whoever wins that game. Mississippi State will... I'm going to predict them to beat Baylor. We're going to have another 12 seed in Liberty beating Oregon, I think. And then we're going to have Arizona beating Akron. VCU and BYU. Man, I don't want to predict either of these teams to lose. I'm going to go for an upset and say VCU win, though. I know they recently lost to Dayton, but we're going to see another team make a good run, VCU. Another underdog team. Wisconsin will beat Montana. Vanderbilt over St. Mary's. And Bama over Robert Morris. Duke will beat Mississippi State. Arizona will beat Liberty. VCU will beat Wisconsin. And Bama will have no problem beating Vanderbilt. Actually, I mean, maybe they'll have a slight problem beating Vanderbilt, but they should get the win in the end. Duke or Arizona? We're going to go Duke. Oh, Duke. And then I think this is where VCU's run comes to an end. Let's see the info. Wow, they're actually my suggested pick to win, VCU. Should I go for it and say VCU to upset Bama? I'm not going to go for it. We're going to go Duke over Bama. And then for the Midwest, Houston or Edwardsville. We're going to go Edwardsville to... I'm just kidding. We're going to go Houston will beat Edwardsville. Gonzaga beats Georgia. Clemson beats McNeese. Purdue beats High Point. We're going to go Texas or Xavier to beat Illinois. Kentucky will beat Troy. We'll go Utah State to upset UCLA. And Tennessee will beat Wofford. Or whatever it's called. Houston versus Gonzaga. We're going Houston to beat Gonzaga. We're going for Clemson to beat Purdue. Kentucky will beat Texas or Xavier, whoever makes it. And then we'll have Tennessee playing Kentucky. Houston will beat Clemson. And Kentucky will beat Tennessee. Honestly, that game is a flip of a coin. I can see either team winning that. So far, we have 2 1 seeds. I don't want to pick 3 1 seeds, but I mean, you pick who you think is the best, right? I mean, with a few upsets here and there. I mean, I'm picking Houston to beat Kentucky. And then I'm picking Florida. And we'll go Houston, actually, over Duke. I want someone else than Duke. Because lots of people I know just predict Duke to win the whole thing, which, okay. They're probably the favorites for the tournament. But they're not my favorite for the tournament. Florida or Houston? I said Florida was the best team in the country. But I'm going to say Houston wins. I'm going to say Houston wins March Madness. And the score will be 87-79. That's my predictions.